MCS. For the Kenya does not even have one. Na sisi tuko na waine. So hii wingi wao sijui iko wapi.
Let's come back to the politics of the capital. Several candidates eyeing the Nairobi gubernatorial position this morning came face-to-face in the first debate on their economic agenda for Nairobians. Dr. Evans Kidero of NASA and politician Miguna clashed on various issues, and here's what transpired earlier on this morning.
Things that would have caused drought, and we need to respect what they did, and I want to thank you for that. I think also what we need to understand, and my friend at the end has said it, that the number of vehicles have increased. It is true the vehicles have increased from what it was in the 80s, about 40,000 vehicles. The figures we have is not 2 million vehicles or a million. What we have is about 600,000 vehicles on our roads. And the vehicles that are being registered are 10,000 vehicles per month, which is 120, and not 200,000. So unless you build commensurate infrastructure to take this traffic, obviously you're going to have congestion. In the last 50 years, we've only increased 800 kilometers of roads in Nairobi, and vehicles have increased from 4,000 50 years ago to currently about 700,000. But also let's understand, not all roads are county vehicles. Uhuru Highway is a national government road which is managed by Kenya. Langata Road and Ngong Road are managed by Kura. Limuru Road is managed by Kenya. Jogo Road is by Kura. And the county government works in consultation as specified in the Constitution on how to manage this. That's why we met and formed Nairobi Metropolitan Transport Authority.
Well, thank you, sir.
This is important because people understand.
Probably will come back towards the tail end of this session.
Unless people understand.
Your time is up.
Once we come back, we'll come back to you. I want to go back to Bwana Macharia. Recently, we woke up to the reality that there was a cholera outbreak in one of the prestigious hotels in Nairobi. And clearly that shows, if that is happening there, what about the 66 plus slums that we have in Nairobi? What is your solution to handling the issue of sanitation and healthcare?
Well, so those are some of the issues that came out of that particular debate that was held earlier on in the day. Our reporter Raquel Mwigai attended that particular debate and now joins us live from our City Center studios with more details. Raquel, good afternoon. What are some of the fundamental things that came out of that particular debate?
Akisa, thank you so much. Some of the most pertinent issues that came out of the whole debate, arising from the whole debate, was firstly the issue of water and sanitation, and that just boils down to waste management. And as you know, waste management in Nairobi County has been an ongoing debate for quite some time, with papers being strewn all over, solid waste being part of the Nairobi streets, and also the blockage of the city drainage system, especially during the heavy rainfall. So it has been an ongoing debate for quite some time that has not only been an environmental hazard or effect, but also has affected the health of many Nairobi constituents. Another issue that came about was the issue of transport congestion in the city. Traffic jam is one characteristic of Nairobi, and therefore Kenyans were asking, because there was public participation within that particular debate, was how are these leaders, how are they going to solve that issue of congestion on our roads? And some of the responses that they gave was coming up with a subway system to just try and divert traffic from the roads at least to the subway system, whereby there will be at least some sort of easing up of the congestion, as well as trying to do away with the roundabouts on the roads, given that they in some way try and end up hulling up traffic on the Nairobi streets. Another issue that also came up was the issue of gender. Now, the Nairobi gubernatorial race has attracted 7 candidates, but out of all the 7 candidates, only 2 of them have women counterparts, women running mates. That is Miguna as well as Michael Mumo, who is running under the Agano Party, Miguna, who's an independent candidate. And therefore, that was an issue, especially that arose among ladies within that particular debate, of wanting to understand how are these leaders going to understand some of the issues or try to balance social participation as well as business participation of all these genders, given that there's a few representation by their female counterparts. Also, another issue that came about was the issue of PSVs and hawkers, their presence being within the CBD. As you can remember, just some few days ago, or years or months, if you can just say that, the PSVs had been allocated, had been removed, the presence of the PSVs had been removed from within the CBD as well as the hawkers. But with, it didn't go well, especially with the hawkers, because there was a push and pull between the county government and the hawkers, given that they were to be allocated a specific position or a specific location in which they were going to be able to sell their stuff and goods. But that did not happen, given that at this point on our streets, especially at night, we do get to see hawkers along each and every street, especially along Odeon, along the Odeon stage as well as Kenyatta Avenue. And therefore, these are some of the issues that arose during that whole debate. Kenyans just being able to, wanting to understand exactly how these leaders are going to deal with some of these things that matter most to them. But one thing, however, that stood out, given that only 5 out of the 7 gubernatorial candidates were able to attend. That included Dr. Evans Kidero, Miguna, Michael Mumo Mutinda of the Agano Party, Macharia Kamau of the Party of Democracy, as well as Geoffrey Wanyoike were able to attend. And then also Mike Mbuvi Sonko and Peter Kenneth gave their apologies for that particular debate. But one thing that came out was that despite all these ambitions that they do have, where are they going to get the funding to implement some of the strategies that they have put in place? And there were funny responses, as we might call them, given that one of the candidates stated that to be able to ensure that hawkers and everyone in Nairobi gets a position to just enjoy or have a space to be able to do their business, that will involve reclaiming golf courses, because they have taken a lot of space. And given that those people who go to golf courses actually get to have money, therefore they can be able to afford other spaces or other pieces of land. There was also the response of where they were also going to try and see if they can be able to raise 10 billion. But at the end of it all, like I said, the major problem was that how are they going to acquire their funding, given that there's a particular amount that is governed by the law on how much is to be allocated to the county government by the national government. Akesa.
Raquel, thank you. This